Let's do it. Fantasy Blitz, it's your boy Elijah. A little bit of a different camera angle, but that is okay. I'm a little stuffed up. It's cold in here. I've got on 3 layers. But yeah, happy Thursday for those that celebrate. Of course, there is no fantasy. We're in the playoffs. We're in the NFL divisional round. And I'm excited. All right, there's a lot of really good matchups. Sometimes I feel like every so-and-so in the playoffs, there's like a couple games that are just like dog. You know, like absolutely terrible. Like it's a 1 seed that's going to destroy the other seed or the lowest seed available. But this year I feel like any team can beat any team. So it's going to be a good one. 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. We'll get into that later. It's going to be a little short stream today, not too long, considering there's only 4 games to talk about. And I'm only going to talk about it for so long. And like I said, it's cold in here. I don't want to be in here too long. But I am here because I don't know how much longer I will be in this studio. We might just have to do streams in a different location, in an undisclosed location. So let me pull up the stream on my phone. Voila. All right, 4 people in there. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. I really do appreciate it more than you can ever imagine. So let's get into it. So for the first matchup, there's going to be no slides. We have, let me pull up like the schedule so I don't butcher anything. Come on, man. All right. They're not going to give me the times. Okay. All right, so on Saturday we have the Texans versus the Chiefs. That game is at 4 o'clock or 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's on ESPN/ABC and ESPN Plus. And then at 8 p.m., the night game, the primetime game, we have the Commanders versus the Lions. And that game will be on at Fox. Or on Fox, yeah, I guess. And then for the Sunday games, for Sunday at, what time is that? 3 p.m., we have the Rams versus the Eagles. That will be on Peacock, NBC. And then for the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills, which we can all agree is the number 1 game of the entire, honestly, season. I know I've said that, I think I've said that twice now, but this is the game. All right, I mean, how could you not? We'll get into it when we get there. Like, I'm so excited. I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to be crazy. But that game is going to be on CBS, a.k.a. Paramount Plus, for those that don't have cable, you know, like me. But yeah, we'll start with the Chiefs game. And basically what I'm going to look at is, I'm just going to look at the team stats for the 2024 season, okay? Because, like, the Chiefs and the Lions, they have not played at all in the playoffs. So we haven't seen any football from them in about 2 weeks, or when they play about 2 weeks. So it's really just going to be the 2024 season. And I'll pull up on the screens so that y'all can see a little bit better. Let me do that. Is that better? Slide it on over. If I do that, yeah. All right, so let's just start off with the offense, okay? So we'll go over to passing. And it looks like where are the Chiefs? No, they're not that far down, are they? Are they? All right, so they're about middle of the pack. 3,780 yards, not terrible. And then the Texans, where are the Texans? I can't imagine they're, 3,526. So both teams are not looking the greatest when it comes to the offense. But when it comes to the run game, let's see, 1,909 for them, for the Texans, and then for the Chiefs, 1,790. So it definitely looks like the Texans have more of an edge over that, but not much of an edge. But the defense is mainly what we're going to look at. Okay, so yards per game. Let's go. I think the Chiefs, excuse me, they're one of the better teams for sure. Yeah, so they're looking about top 10 in yards per game allowed. They're pretty good against the pass, I will say, but the run is what they're very, very good at. So let's look at the run for the Chiefs. Yeah, they're still top 10. Average about 101.8 yards per game. I think the Denver Broncos game, I think that game very much so skewed their stats a little bit because they were number 1 in defense for rushing a long time, very long time. And that Broncos game, they got beat, 38-0. So don't look at those too heavy because stat padding is real. But yeah, I expect And this is what each game is going to look like. It's not going to be very in-depth. It's just going to be sit back. Because it's the playoffs. I mean, you really cannot predict this stuff. Because would you have predicted the Commanders to win on they said not a doink, it was a donk. I mean, that clip was crazy. It sounded like a church bell. But you can't predict that stuff, all right? And a fumble inside the Bucs' own 20 helps out the Commanders get back into the position. Like I said, it's the playoffs. You can't predict that stuff. So how I think the game is going to go down is, and the Texans are, I believe, 8.5-point underdogs. I think the Chiefs will win, all right, but I don't know how good they'll look because they've played before. And it was a one-possession game. It was 27-19. Not even a month ago. It's a little bit coming up on a month. It's going to be all on C.J. Stroud. And the good news is, if you're a Texans fan, okay, the good news is he caught his stride. It looked like he was making some good passes against the Chargers. He's making he made a great run against the Chargers, which put them in scoring position. I mean, phenomenal job by C.J. Stroud. He's the key player for sure. Because Patrick Mahomes is probably going to do his thing. The defense is definitely going to step up. But it's really about if C.J. Stroud can do his own thing. And my thought is, I don't know if he can do enough. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win. I don't think they'll cover. I think the Texans will cover. So I'll go with, I'll go with 24-20 Chiefs. That'll be a pretty close game, I think. So yeah, let's look at the chat real quick. I was gonna say stats. Let's get smashed. Let's go. Smash that likes. Coin those. Robust with an arm. Best stream ever. Come on, man. Let's go. That's also what he says. Coin operator. It would be wild if the Texans exposed the Chiefs. Hashtag Stroud boys. Coin operator, you saying that just proves you're an OG fan, man. OG fan of the stream. That's awesome. Yeah, it would be wild. I think it would be very much so wild. And I was talking to my roommate the other day. Now, if the Texans won Sunday, the Bills and the Ravens are going to be looking at each other and just, winner goes, right? I think the Chiefs would, I think the Bills would annihilate the Texans again if they got that matchup again, because that was a very much so emotional game. And, of course, the Ravens, they beat them 31-2 on Christmas Day. How could anyone forget? I know I could never, I can't forget that. Wayne Heron says, let's go. Let's go. Come on now. Troy says, Robust Mark Arms says, what up, Unc? Which is pretty cool. But, yeah, so I'm going to take the Chiefs to win 24-20. Let's move on to the next game. And what was that next game? It was the Commanders, right? No. Yes. It was Commanders at the Lions at 8 p.m. This will be a good one. All right, let's check out those stats real quick. Let me find the rushing. So it looks like David Montgomery also should be back. He should be returning, which is huge if you're a Lions fan. And my key player for that matchup is Jaden Daniels. I think any game, if he plays from here on out, he'll be the key player, solely because he is kind of the life of that team. I think if he does not do well, this is just overall, not saying for the game, because if he doesn't do well, they're not going to win. But if he's not having a great game, it's kind of hard for that team to rally behind him. But he showed so much fight against the Bucs, and I think that's what kept him in the game. But this is a very scary Detroit Lions team, especially with David Montgomery coming back. I don't expect a lot of touches from him, but I do expect him to get some meaningful touches, whether it's like 3rd and 2, meaningful for him more so. But 3rd and 2, 1st and 10, just get the ball rolling. Simple stuff for him. I don't think they're really going to try to injure him again. Of course, they wouldn't try to, but they're not going to try to put him in that position. So I think it's going to be tough because I think the run game, let's check out the run game actually. Oh my. All right, so this is what's crazy. This is why we look at the stats, all right? So Commanders, they're the 3rd worst team and the worst active playoff team according to the rush. All right, let's check out the Lions' offensive rush. Oh, would you look at that? They're number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Lions here to win solely because of the rushing game. I'll have them winning 30 to, let's go with 20, 21. Yeah, 30 to 21. 9-point game, which is pretty good in the playoffs. I would say that's a solid win. Regular season, I wouldn't say so or say much, but, wow, the Falcons, I didn't realize how bad. Oh, we're pretty good on the rush. That's not bad. All right. Who cares? We're not here, so it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah, so I think the run game is really what's going to expose Washington, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Wayne here says, that's a stretch, robust. What do you say? Falcons going to win the Super Bowl in 2026. I'm betting my whole life salary on it. That's a stretch, robust. Falcons need a few more years to get mean. We're there, though. We're there. I don't know if we're there. I don't know. Focus. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, so I'm going to take the Lions, and then the AFC Conference Championship will have one guy ready for the Chiefs, and then one for the Lions. So let's move on to Sunday. And the first game is the Rams versus the Eagles. This, I think, is the more slept-on game. I think they definitely have these two games be the Sunday games because, I mean, man, the Rams, woo, I don't think that I don't think the Vikings are that bad. Okay, I think Sam Darnold's not a terrible, quarterback per se, but I would say more so that the Rams are really good. All right, remember, we talked about it on the show. They were 0-4 at one point. They were the worst, they were the best 0-4 team. They were the best losing team for a while. And now they've won 11 out of their last 14. And they've caught a stride. And not to bring it up, but the LA Fires, I'm sure that brings some motivation in the locker room. It's got to, right? I mean, you're playing for your city. So that game is going to be really good. I don't like that it's in Philadelphia. Well, I do, but I don't, because Rams fans, you're just not ready to go in that hostile environment. You're just not. It's tough out there. I've never been, but I've seen stuff. I've talked to Eagles fans at Falcons games. It's tough, all right? But yeah, let's check out that stat or those stats real quick. It's really about Matt Stafford, all right? You know the Eagles are going to show up on both sides of the ball. They've done it pretty much all year. But yeah, let's check out their last game too. Rams. Why can I never type? Rams versus Eagles. Okay. So they did play because Saquon had that, no, not that game. Score. Yeah, so the Eagles won 37-20. The box score was 7-3 Rams in the first. And then the Eagles had 10 points, so it was 13 in the second quarter, so it was 13-7. And then the Eagles just scored 24 points in the second half, and the Rams only scored 13. Saquon rushed for a career high. I believe it was 200 yards. Let's see if they can get me the player stats. Yep. All right. Yeah, he had 255 yards on 26 carries, averaging about 9.8 yards per carry on 2 touchdowns, which is incredible. Definitely had a career game. Excuse me, but very well. Very, very well. And Matt Stafford didn't even look that bad. Threw for 24, for 36, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, 16 carries, 72 yards, 4.5 average, 1 touchdown. How'd the receiving core do? Puka Nacua, 9 catches, 117. And then Cooper Kupp, 8 catches for 60 yards, 7.5 average, and then 1 touchdown. And that was really it. Everyone else after that was below 3 or at 3. I think that game was just really good. But, man, I just think that Saquon balled out. Will he rush for 255 again? Probably not, right? But will he do well? Yeah, I think so. The Rams rank, let's check out where they rank in rushing for defense. They are... Wow. All right, so they're about middle of the pack. Yeah, so about middle of the pack. That's not terrible. I don't think they're going to extremely or very much so rely on Saquon in this game. I think that they're going to probably just keep the Rams guessing. And I think that's the way the Eagles could win the Super Bowl, is if they keep the opponent guessing. Of course, you have the best running back in the league. That does not mean you need to use him all the time. You need to use him a lot, but not all the time. Because you also have a very good quarterback in Jalen Hurts and a very good wide receiver in A.J. Brown. So I just think that they need to keep the momentum going by switching up the plays. Whether it's a play action or RPO, just whatever it may be. All right, but for this game, the key player is just Matt Stafford. Can he be the guy everyone's talking about that he is in December, January, and February football? I love how they included that February stat. I don't know if y'all watched the Monday night game. They were like, oh, he's really good in February. Well, brothers played like one game in February. Like, what? That's the most ESPN stat I've ever seen. But he's still really good. It's about him. Can they go to Philadelphia? Can the Los Angeles Rams go to Philadelphia and play well? I think the home environment will be very much so on the Eagles side, of course. But yeah, I'll take the Eagles to win. I'll take them winning 30. I'll go 34. What in the world? Hold up. Can y'all still hear it? What in the world? I went away. Look at this. You can't see me. It's like black. But dude. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. Hold up. I don't think that's ever happened. Well, let me fix the. I don't think that's ever happened before. That's crazy. Oh, battery exhausted. Oh, that's not good. All right. I don't think that's ever happened. Well, let me fix the. I don't think that's ever happened before. Well, that's unfortunate. I very much so apologize. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go to screens, and we'll just look at this stat, because we only got one game left. Unfortunate. Battery exhausted. That's never happened over here. That's crazy. All right, let's just move this over. Yeah, let's just talk. All right, so the next game, we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens. Let me turn that down. Excuse me for yelling into the mic. Yeah, this one's going to be the best game of the year by far. It's MVP favorite versus MVP favorite. Yeah, I think it's a coin toss for fan bases on who they think is going to win. I think it will be Lamar. Not being biased, I really just think they're going to give it to Lamar because they want that headline, of course. But it just stinks how one of these guys has to lose and one of these teams have to lose. I think both fan bases would really I think it'd be beautiful to watch them go to the AFC Championship because if they face the Chiefs, this is the headlines. If they face the Chiefs, it'll be a Week 1 rematch, okay? And if the Bills, that's the Ravens, if the Bills face the Chiefs, it'll be, can Mahomes get his get back from earlier in the season? Can Josh Allen finally get over that hump against the Chiefs in the playoffs? Regardless, you can't go wrong. But if it's the Texans, I'm telling you, it's just going to be a slaughter. It won't matter. But yeah, let's look at the offense for rushing. Y'all saw it earlier. It's insane for the offense. Ravens dub 3,189 yards of rushing. And then for the Bills, they're not bad for a passing team, right? They've got, 2,230 yards, pretty good. For passing, the Bills are also about top 10. Very, very well-balanced team. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, where are they for passing? No way. Did I skip them? I have terrible eyesight. Okay, so they're like right above them. Their offense is insane, right? But then their defense, this is what really shocked me. And this honestly kind of, I was already on the Ravens side, but this is kind of like really what solidified my my decision. 1,361 yards all season for the Ravens on defense. Really, really good. Only allowing 80.1 yards per game. I think it's phenomenal. And then the Bills, do they struggle against the run? Not entirely. They're just above average on defense. So I think that's the name of the game. Yes, they did play earlier in the season, so let's check that out real quick. Let's go Bills. And this will be in a different environment, so that's okay. Bills for all caps. Whoops. Score. 35-10. Yeah, it was a slaughter. It was not an amazing game to watch if you were just a neutral fan or a Bills fan. But I just think the Bills kind of imploded. This was their first loss of the season. Every team's got to lose eventually, pretty much. And I think that was just their first game of like, we got, you know. But I mean, the name of the game, I believe it was the rushing game. Like I think it will be this time around. So let's see. And Josh Allen just did not have a good game. 16 for 29, 180, 5 rushes for 21 yards, which is not great at all. But then Lamar did okay, okay as far as like yards, but efficiency is there. 13 for 18, 2 touchdowns, 156. But the running game, man, look at that. 199 from Derrick Henry, 54 from Lamar, and then Justice Hill had 4 carries for 18 for what it's worth. But this is what's crazy right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different targets, and only 6 of them caught it. That's crazy. Wait, what? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I counted him. I didn't even read. 0. Why would you put him on there? Absurd. But Justice Hill had a crazy, crazy game that night. But I expect kind of similar results from this one, mainly just because if it works for the rushing game for the Ravens, I don't see how the Bills can stop it entirely, because if the Ravens just keep rushing the ball, they're going to overshoot, and then Lamar's so efficient that he'll find some guys down the field. Or you rush 7, someone's going to be open. You rush 6, someone's going to be open. So it's going to be a little bit tough for the Bills. So I do have to say I'm picking the Ravens to win. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that out loud. Picking the Ravens to win. Man, I don't know. Let's go 27-24. Game-winning field goal at the end. All right, that is it from the end of the show. Let me see if I can... Let's see. Wayne Heron says, my battery is exhausted too. I feel that. All right, Robust says we can hear. That's good. The Rams going to win, though. They got to. I can see that, honestly. Like, I really can see the Rams, like, winning. Wait a minute. Can y'all see me? No? All right, that's crazy. Oh, it's because this is behind. That's why. I was about to say, what? That's insane. All right. I appreciate y'all. So, yeah, for my picks, I got Chiefs, and then I've got the Lions. And then for the Sunday games, I have the Eagles, and then I have the Ravens. Oh, boy. We're in for a treat. I will see you guys next week, hopefully. But, yeah, again, shout out to Hit Network for letting me use the studio. Appreciate y'all so much. But, yeah, as always, God bless, be kind, and peace. Oh, wait, wrong one. Dang, y'all get to see me, like, there we go.